On Wednesday, June 4, 2025, the White House announced a significant shift in United States immigration policy. President Donald Trump signed a proclamation introducing a new travel ban, a measure that has quickly become a focal point of national and international discussion. This new directive is scheduled to take effect at 12:01 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time on Monday, June 9, 2025. The administration has stated that this policy is an extension of efforts outlined in Executive Order 14-161, which was issued earlier in the year, on January 20, 2025. That initial order mandated a comprehensive review of global vetting and screening procedures for individuals seeking entry into the United States, laying the groundwork for the restrictions now being implemented. The new travel ban imposes a complete suspension of entry for both immigrants and non-immigrants from 12 specific countries. These nations are Media Group, Airport Departure Boards outdoors, international travelers with luggage outside airport, global travelers at airport entrance at stock at distribute_equally, Afghanistan, Myanmar, referred to as Burma in the proclamation, Chad, the Republic of the Congo, Equatorial Guinea, Eritrea, Haiti, Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and Yemen. For citizens of these countries, nearly all avenues for legal entry into the United States, whether for tourism, work, or permanent resettlement, have been temporarily closed. This comprehensive approach signals a stringent stance by the administration, impacting a wide array of individuals who might have been planning travel or relocation to the United States, creating immediate uncertainty for many. In addition to the full ban, 7 other countries face partial but still significant restrictions. Nationals of Burundi, Cuba, Laos, Sierra Leone, Togo, Turkmenistan, and Venezuela will find their entry suspended if they are seeking immigrant visas or specific non-immigrant visas. The affected non-immigrant categories include Media Group, business travelers with suitcases outside, tourists outdoors with travel bags, people waiting for taxis at airport entrance at stock at distribute_equally, B1 visas for business, B2 visas for tourism, the combined B1/B2 visa, F visas for academic students, M visas for vocational students, and J visas for exchange visitors. Furthermore, for these 7 nations, consular officers have been directed to reduce the validity period of other types of non-immigrant visas, where legally permissible, adding another layer of complexity for potential travelers. It is important to note that some countries previously included in travel restrictions during President Trump's first term, such as North Korea and Syria, are not part of this new June 2025 ban. The selection of countries for the current ban appears to be based on a new assessment conducted by various government agencies. The administration has indicated that the list of countries is not static and could be subject to change in the future, depending on ongoing reviews of international cooperation and security protocols. This dynamic nature means that the scope of the ban could expand or contract over time, adding to the ongoing global attention. The primary justification offered by President Trump and his administration for enacting this new travel ban centers on the protection of United States national security and public safety. Officials have repeatedly stated that the measures are designed to shield the country from foreign terrorists and other individuals who might pose a threat. The White House has pointed to what it describes as inadequate vetting procedures in the targeted countries, asserting that these nations do not meet American standards for information sharing or identity verification. This concern, they argue, necessitates a pause on entry from these locations until such standards can be demonstrably improved and verified by United States authorities. A specific event highlighted by the president as underscoring the need for these restrictions was an attack that occurred in Boulder, Colorado, on June 1, 2025. In this incident, an Egyptian national, identified as Mohammed Sabri Solomon, allegedly threw a gasoline bomb into a crowd. Reports indicate that Solomon had entered the United States on a tourist visa and had overstayed his permitted time. President Trump directly referenced this attack, stating it underscored the extreme dangers posed to our country by the entry of foreign nationals who are not properly vetted, as well as those who come here as temporary visitors and overstay their visas, thereby linking the ban to recent events. Interestingly, while the Boulder incident was used as a prominent example, Egypt, the home country of the alleged attacker, is not included in the list of nations subject to the travel ban. However, President Trump did order a special review of Egypt's vetting policies and procedures in the wake of the attack. This has led some observers to question the direct correlation between the cited incident and the selection of banned countries, suggesting that other factors might be more heavily at play in the decision-making process. The administration maintains that the ban is based on a broader assessment of risk across multiple nations. Beyond the Boulder incident, the administration has provided further justifications based on a review conducted by the Secretary of State, Attorney General, Secretary of Homeland Security, and the Director of National Intelligence. This review reportedly utilized data such as the 2023 overstay report. For instance, high visa overstay rates were cited for countries like Chad, 49.54% for B1/B2 visas, and Equatorial Guinea, 70.18% for F, M, and J visas. Other concerns included Taliban control in Afghanistan, the designation of Iran and Cuba as state sponsors of terrorism, Somalia being considered a terrorist safe haven, and a lack of central governing authority in Haiti and Venezuela, along with perceived failures to cooperate on deportations. Despite the broad scope of the travel restrictions, the proclamation includes several important exemptions for certain categories of individuals. Crucially, the ban does not apply to United States lawful permanent residents, commonly known as green card holders. Additionally, dual nationals who are traveling on a passport from a country not designated in the ban are also exempt. Furthermore, individuals who already possess a valid United States visa that was issued before the ban's effective date of June 9, 2025, will still be permitted to travel to the United States on that visa. Their visas will not be revoked as a result of this new policy. Specific visa categories are also explicitly exempted from the restrictions. These include diplomatic or official visas such as A, C, G, and NATO visas, which are typically used by government officials and representatives of international organizations. Another notable exemption is for athletes, sports teams, and their accompanying delegations who are traveling to the United States for major sporting events. This provision aims to ensure that international sporting competitions hosted in the United States can proceed without disruption due to the travel ban, recognizing the cultural and economic importance of such events and the often complex logistics involved in their organization. The ban also outlines several exemptions for immigrant visas, which are for individuals seeking to live permanently in the United States. For example, spouses and children of United States citizens may still be eligible for visas if they can provide clear and convincing evidence of their identity and the qualifying family relationship. Adoptions processed under IR3, IR4, IH3, and IH4 visa categories are also exempt. Importantly, provisions remain for Afghan special immigrant visas for those who assisted United States forces, special immigrant visas for certain United States government employees, and immigrant visas for specific persecuted ethnic or religious minorities in Iran. The ban also clarifies it does not affect those already granted asylum or refugee status. Finally, the proclamation allows for case-by-case waivers. The Attorney General or the Secretary of State can grant a waiver if an individual's entry is deemed to be in the United States' national interest, or if it is determined that the individual would not pose a threat to national security or public safety. Regarding implementation, the policy applies to foreign nationals from the designated countries who are outside the United States and do not have a valid visa as of June 9, 2025. The restrictions will be reviewed initially every 90 days, and subsequently every 180 days, with the possibility of countries being added or removed from the list based on these ongoing assessments. The announcement of the new travel ban has elicited a range of reactions from around the globe. The African Union expressed concern about the potential negative impacts on educational exchanges, commercial engagement, and diplomatic relations with the affected African nations. Several individual countries have also responded directly. For instance, Chad's President Idriss Déby reportedly ordered a halt to issuing visas to United States citizens in a retaliatory move. The government of the Republic of the Congo called its inclusion a misunderstanding, while Somalia pledged to work with the United States to address the cited security concerns. Venezuela's Interior Minister, Diosdado Cabello, strongly condemned the United States government, describing it as fascist. Domestically, reactions have been divided, mirroring previous debates on similar policies. White House spokeswoman Abigail Jackson defended the restrictions as common sense, country-specific, and targeting nations with clear deficiencies in vetting standards or cooperation. Conversely, civil liberties organizations have voiced strong opposition. Sarah Mehta of the American Civil Liberties Union characterized the proclamation as an attempt to eviscerate lawful immigration pathways under the false guise of national security. These contrasting viewpoints highlight the deep ideological divisions surrounding United States immigration policy, particularly measures that involve broad restrictions on entry. This new ban is not without historical precedent, particularly within President Trump's own political history. It closely echoes the travel bans implemented during his first term, from 2017 to 2021, which also targeted several predominantly Muslim-majority countries and faced numerous legal challenges. The Supreme Court ultimately upheld a revised version of that earlier ban in 2018. That ban was later rescinded by the Biden administration in January 2021. President Trump had signaled a return to tougher border security and entry restrictions during his 2024 presidential campaign, making this new proclamation a fulfillment of those campaign promises for his supporters. Looking ahead, the new travel ban is widely expected to face legal lawsuits, much like its predecessors. Immigration advocates and legal scholars are already scrutinizing the proclamation for potential vulnerabilities. However, some legal experts, like retired Cornell University Law School professor Stephen Yale Lower, have suggested the ban is likely to withstand legal challenges, given the Supreme Court's previous ruling and the administration's invocation of national security, coupled with specific exemptions. The coming weeks and months will likely see these legal battles unfold, while the practical impact on individuals and international relations continues to be felt and debated across the United States and the world.
I hope you found this video useful. Follow me right here on YouTube for more great content daily. Download my international best-selling book, Be Good, Be Brief, Be Gone, for absolutely free at growfast.club. I say again, download my book at growfast.club for all of my 7-figure growth hacks. Get your copy now while it's still free.
There it is. Magnum. Holy moly.
Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for!
Dear God. It's beautiful.